Hello YouTube, I'm this guy. Hi, I'm going to bring you guys a video on cards you guys probably should pick up for returning or new players. These cards I'm going to be listing are basically cards you probably should pick up for any deck you're going to be running. Even if you are undecided on what deck you want to build, you definitely still want to pick these up because you can put these in any deck in general. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here by running the spell and trap lineups. First off, the Called by the Grave. It's a really powerful spell card. It is almost a staple in every deck. Every competitive deck does run this card for a reason. It does stop hand traps. It stops monsters' effects from being activated in the graveyard. So definitely pick these up. These can be sided or mained. It's player preference on which one you want to do, but definitely pick these up though. The next card's Anti-Spell Fragrance, another strong spell card. It does shut down spell cards for one turn, so if you're not spell heavy and your deck can thrive off of Anti-Spell Fragrance, and it's definitely a card to be picking up. It goes on and off formats a lot, so but it's still a good card to have to your disposal if you need it. I've had mine for almost like 5 years now, and I've never regretted not picking those up. So definitely pick them up just so you guys can have them. Next, the Red Reboot. It's the same as Anti-Spell Fragrance. It depends on the format you're in. If your format's not trap heavy, then it's basically a useless card. But if you're in a format that is trap heavy, then Red Reboot can become that strong card. It is cheap right now, so I would definitely just pick them up just to have them, because they will be probably going up once we're in a format where traps become more relevant. The next card, Infinite Imperience. It's a really strong trap card. It's probably the best trap card in my opinion in the game at the moment. That's why it's so expensive, but it's worth the money than what this card's worth. A lot of people probably would disagree with me on that, but like I said, in my opinion, it's a really strong trap card and it's worth it. Next, Infinitely Match. Same thing for Infinite Imperience. It's a really strong trap card. Some people think this card is better than Infinite Imperience, which, you know, they have every right to say that because it is a strong card. If I could tie, these two would probably be tied, but I would give the edge to Infinite Imperience. But with the Infinitely Matched, I would definitely wait for the ban list to come out, because there's rumors of this card actually being hit. So I would definitely wait on the ban list. If the ban list doesn't touch this card, then definitely go ahead and pick up your Infinitely Matches. And the last card, Pot of Desires. It's a good consistency card. It is a +1, regardless of what anyone else out there says. It is a +1. So I would definitely just pick up your Desires because it's a good consistency card, and it's a card that can extend your plays too at the same time. So, and this is a card that competitive players do use a lot, so definitely pick those up. Next to the hand traps, starting off with Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is probably the best overall hand trap in the game, but just like the spells and traps, all these hand traps, there's formats where one strives over the other. But Ash Blossom is definitely probably the hand trap you want to go after because it can be used in every format. Sometimes it won't be as strong in some formats than others, but definitely pick them up. Drill and Lockbird. It's another good hand trap. Locks your opponent from adding cards from deck to hand, including drawing. So definitely would pick up your Drill and Lockbirds. Ghost Ogre is another good hand trap. It basically destroys a card once it's activated. So definitely would pick up your Ghost Ogres. Same with Winter Cherries. Winter Cherries is a really good hand trap too. Stripping your opponent from their best extra deck monster is always a good thing to do. So I would definitely pick up your Winter Cherries. And also your Effect Veiler, your last hand trap here. Effect Veiler is a really good card, being able to negate an opponent's monster. Just keep in mind though, this one is the only one that can't be activated during the other player's turn. It has to be on your opponent's turn, so I think it's probably the weaker out of all the hand traps, but still a good hand trap nonetheless, however you look at it. That's it for the hand traps there. Next, we're going to go on to the link monsters. These are basically your stable link monsters, so keep that in mind. They're not like the best link monsters in the game whatsoever, but they're basically link monsters that can go into any deck because they're so generic. First off, probably the best one on this list here, Fireball. For good reason. Fireball's at 1 for a good reason too. It might get banned, so this card I'd probably wait until the ban list. Honestly, in my opinion, I'd probably just pick it up because I don't see this thing going on the ban list at all. But if you're afraid of the ban list though, and you don't want to fork over that money because it is an expensive card, then I'd probably wait. Next, Nightmare NG, the Mermail, Phoenix, Sarais, Unicorn, Griffin, and Goblin. Definitely pick. I mean, out of all this, the Nightmare NG is probably the best NG to pick up out of all these because it's so versatile. It's so good. It's always going to be needed because you being able to spot removal, you'd be able to protect your stuff. Goblin giving you that extra normal summon, which in some decks could be really, really good. Definitely the Phoenix and Sarais, though. That's probably the two main nightmares you probably want to focus on and getting first, and then you can pick up the rest when you build your deck better. But overall, the Phoenix and Sarais is probably the best ones, which is funny because they're actually the cheapest. Next, the Boardlord Dragon. Boardlord Dragon's a really, really good link monster. It is a generic monster. The effect of it being able to take a monster until the end phase is really good. Gets you out of sticky situations. It can also break opponents' boards to a degree, depending on what board you're looking at. So I would definitely just pick up your Boardlord Dragon because that card's always needed in every deck to get you out of sticky situations. Next, the Skull Dread. It's a complete opposite of Boardlord. This card is actually can be an extender to a degree, but it's more used to basically fix your hand if your hand's really bricky. It also can recycle cards, and it also can get over monsters by docking the attack and defensive monsters. So depending on how you build your deck, what deck you're building, it would all depend on that, depending on which card you would get. If you have the money and you're willing to, throw money into this game, then I would definitely just pick up both because both can be used in any deck. Next, Underclock Taker. Underclock Taker is probably the best generic 2 monster in the game besides the Nightmares. I'm not going to put it in the same category as Nightmares because Nightmares is its own thing. But out of like a normal link monster, Underclock Taker is probably the best generic 2. So I would definitely just pick that up because it has multiple purposes. It can dock and attack a monster, so you can get over bigger monsters that your monsters can't get over. It also can co-link to certain cards because it does point down and also to the right. So these next two, the Link Spider and the Proxy Dragon, these two are just link climbers for the most part. I would just definitely pick these up if you have a deck that is going to produce tokens for you, because you can easily get into your Boardlord or your Fireball or your Skull Dread, basically any link monsters that are high up there like the 4s and 5s, even 3s to a degree. But definitely pick those up just so you have them if you're ever going to be running a deck that's a token generator that can bring these cards out fast and easy on turn 1. That's it. That's all the cards I have here. I'm sure I did miss a few, and if I did, leave a comment below and let people know what I missed. I just wanted to make a quick list out here for you guys, so if you guys needed help on what cards to grab, if you guys are new to the game or returning, this is a list for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if it was helpful, hit that like button. Also, if you haven't already done it, subscribe to my channel if you guys are liking the content I am putting out there. Also, hit the notification bell so you guys get notified every time I upload a video. Now, we'll talk to you guys all later, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Alright, bye.